Sudan is facing a humanitarian crisis as a result of the ongoing conflict between the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, which erupted on April 15. The fighting has spread across the country, affecting civilians and infrastructure in Khartoum, Darfur and other regions. According to the UN, more than 700 people have been killed, including 190 children, and another 6,000 have been injured since the start of the conflict. Many more are missing or have been subjected to human rights violations, such as sexual violence, enforced disappearances, and recruitment of child soldiers. The conflict has also displaced over 1 million people, who have fled to safer areas inside Sudan or crossed the borders to neighboring countries, such as Chad and Ethiopia. Among the displaced population, nearly 8,000 are pregnant women who need urgent maternal health care. The violence has also disrupted the delivery of humanitarian aid and essential services to millions of people in need. The UN reports that more than two-thirds of hospitals in Sudan are closed or damaged, leaving civilians without access to health care, water and basic supplies. A factory that produced vital supplies for the treatment of malnourished children was burned down in Khartoum. The looting of humanitarian premises and attacks on aid workers have also hampered the response efforts. The UN has revised its humanitarian response plan for Sudan, calling for $2.6 billion to provide life-saving assistance to 18.1 million people in the country until the end of this year. The plan has been increased by $800 million due to the soaring needs spurred by the current crisis. So far, only 17% of the required funding has been received. On May 20, 2023, representatives of the SAF and the RSF signed an agreement on a short-term ceasefire and humanitarian arrangements in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The agreement aims to facilitate the delivery and distribution of humanitarian assistance, restore essential services and withdraw forces from hospitals and public facilities. The ceasefire is supposed to last for 7 days and may be extended with the agreement of both parties. However, the compliance and adherence to the agreement will be monitored by a committee comprised of representatives of Saudi Arabia and the United States, which are the facilitators of the agreement, and representatives of the parties. The UN has welcomed the ceasefire agreement as a positive step that could pave the way for peace talks to end the conflict. The UN Secretary-General's Special Representative for Sudan, Volker Perthes, has urged both parties to return to dialogue in the interest of Sudan and its people. He has also called on all parties to respect international humanitarian law and human rights law, and to protect civilians from harm.